Hey everyone, I hope you had a great holiday. First and foremost, I want to thank my new Patreon supporters Kevin and snarkbottom loof. Thank you for choosing to support me on my YouTube journey. If you would like to do the same, check out the link in the description. This week's story again is from the friend of mine who wrote the Firefly trilogy. Be sure to hop on over to his page and check out his other stories if you enjoyed this one. As always, thank you for watching my content, and please enjoy. I can't tell you exactly when it began. All I know is that I noticed the man at a young age. I couldn't make out his facial features because I always saw him from a distance, until the last time that I saw him. The description I will give is that he was a tall, slender-built man and he always wore a derby hat. You know, like a bowler hat. The terrifying thing about this man, though, is that I would always see him when someone was about to die. I remember this one time I saw him. He was looking at a crowd of people that I had been standing in with my girlfriend. I felt a sense of panic. Was he looking at me? We all began to cross the street until I heard a man yelling. He was screaming at the top of his lungs for someone to let go of him. He couldn't move and he was right in the middle of the crosswalk. His screams for help were deafening. I saw what looked like hands materialize from the road and they had a hold of him. I asked my girlfriend if she had seen them, but she looked at me as if I had asked the dumbest question ever. Her face then went into a terrified look. A semi-truck who wasn't paying attention hit the man at full speed. A red mist had sprayed all over the front of the truck. I looked and the man with the derby turned and vanished. I have come to find that the man with the derby is some kind of entity, one that causes death anywhere he is around. Normally, it's a single target, but sometimes it could be in groups. I remember I saw a picture of two girls taking a selfie on an airplane. The picture was normal, except seated a couple of rows back, blurry. A man with a derby was looking at them. The plane went down in Colorado with no survivors. The last time I saw him was a week before Christmas. I had been working late at the office until I heard something explode. The sound was so loud that it echoed through 2 floors below. What I saw in the break room, I'll never forget. A coworker had been cooking something in the microwave and it just exploded. No metal was found in the microwave. My coworker did not survive. I saw her arm laying on the floor. Her body was thrown across the room. Random entrails were scattered. Blood painted the walls and the floor. Half of her head was gone. I couldn't stomach it. I grabbed the trash can and threw up. When I finished, I looked up, and that's when I saw him. He was walking away from the scene until he turned and noticed me. The next thing I knew, he was on my back, attacking me. I couldn't tell what was cutting me, but it felt like claws. I finally was able to get free and stand up to look at my attacker. It was him, only it looked more like a beast. His eyes were red. His nose was pushed against his face. He had sharp teeth with 2 fangs coming from his bottom lip. This was not a man anymore, but instead a demon. It lunged at me with quickness I couldn't describe. I was able to dodge it, but barely. It cut my stomach as it passed by. I noticed it still had the hat on. I was so curious as to why, but then it dawned on me. Maybe that's how I defeat it and end all of this. I turned around and he lunged again. I was ready this time. He was midair. I moved to the side and grabbed the hat as he passed. It sounded like it was tearing off of his head. I noticed the beast became a man instantly. I didn't take any chances. I grabbed a knife from the break room drawer and plunged it into his heart. Life began to slowly leave him. As he was dying, he told me something. Something I never wanted to hear. It's a dreadful thing, being the one in charge of keeping balance. That's when I understood. The terrible truth is that there always has to be a man with the derby. He controls the balance between life and death. If he didn't exist, the world would begin to tear itself apart into nothing. I hate putting on that derby because I know what it means and what I have to do. The last thing he told me before slipping into the void was, "To the one that kills death has to become death himself."